Greetings. I just did a psychic fair yesterday where I did 27 15-minute readings. They were back to back throughout the day, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of report on that and some of the highlights and some of the maybe issues that we might add. Those of you who are readers, I would really be curious to know how many of you only read one-to-one readings, one-to-one, or individual readings, or do you have experience doing these kind of fairs? I know out here in California, we always have readers at the Pagan Pride and those kind of fairs. Excuse me. They're usually, I got the hiccups. Every time I start talking to you these days, I get the hiccups. The way that it's running out here, like for Pagan Pride and something, usually it's just people in a vendor booth who offer readings. They're really quick. You're just standing up and maybe get a 3-card reading or one, something really quick. It's just meant to draw, I think the idea is it means to draw customers to the vendor space. And as to the atmosphere, it's really nice. It's a nice service that they do. I'm not sure if they charge. I think they might charge a little bit, but some of them. But I've never done anything like that. But the psychic fairs that I've participated in, we use those as fundraisers for a local organization, pagan umbrella group that we are a part of. Our coven is a part of that structure. And they hold 2 every year. And I'm sure there's other ones that are held, sometimes just some of the local merchants who deal in metaphysical kinds of things, will hold a little psychic fair outside of their shop once a year or so to just, drum up business and get, people a little service for their customers, and it's a way of drawing in new customers, of course. They're really lovely. They're usually not too big, but they're a really lovely atmosphere. And this was lovely. We were sponsored by a local, to the area we were in, metaphysical shop. It was lovely, a really beautiful shop. And we were set up along the street there, which was like a dead-end street, an alley street, part of the side of the building, with pop-ups for the day. And it was really a very interesting day. I think all told, the numbers came in that we accomplished. The readers were there, something like 1,200 and some readings. This would include tarot readings, I believe, and it also included things like, there was a coffee reader, there was there were a couple other kind of readers as well. We had Reiki healing, and we had chakra healing, grid work. We had some authors there that were doing book signings. It was a really lovely day, low key, but oh my goodness, we were so busy. And I just wanted to say, if you ever have an opportunity to do something like that, I think you really want to prepare yourself before you do it. Because, first of all, when I do readings here, I'm in my parlor. I have my table cleared, my energy, everything's been cleared and smudged, and I have my cards, and the energy, I have more or less control of the energies in the room, like what's going on in the room. Even when if I do a Skype reading, or if I do a, upload it to YouTube, I have total control. If I don't, I won't do the reading right now. But when you're out in the street, there's traffic, there's people, there's all kinds of people, there's noise. At one point, somebody got out of their car and left people in their car, and their car alarm went off because the people inside were trying to get out, and it was a mess. And the car alarm was going off for quite a while. Oh my God, it just woke me up out of my vibe I was having with the person I was reading for. Ultimately, she left. She got up and left because she couldn't handle the noise. So that was kind of scary. We had our situation, we had a 10 by 10 pop-up roof over us, and there were 2 of us in each of these pop-ups. So we were really kind of close together. You had to be careful, not talk too loudly, so you didn't interfere. But we were like all day working on reclaiming our space. And the part that was the most difficult I found was we were so slammed, and there were so many people wanting readings, because they did these readings, you won't believe it, for $5 for 15 minutes. 15 minutes or $5. Like, people know that was a good deal. You just don't get that anywhere. And like the average person, I think the average reader there yesterday, if they were to do a reading, was anywhere between $30 or $35 up to like $80 an hour for a private reading. So, pretty good deal. But one of the issues that I had was we did every 50 minutes, the bell would ring, and the person sitting got up and another person sat down. And I didn't have the cards off the table for one person before the next person sat down. And what I want to say, I think that kind of affected some of the cards I was pulling. It did. The person I was reading for, the clairvoyant, did not seem to notice in most cases, but I kind of noticed, and I questioned it, how much energy was left over when the person sat down. The cards were there. Maybe their energy is attached to some of those cards, because especially later in the day, as I was shuffling, I made such a big deal to shuffle really thoroughly. The cards were repeating. Some of the cards were repeating. And I thought, maybe they were, because the cards were attached, the energy of the cards were attached to them from them sitting down. It's like I used to sell craft items and antique items in street fairs years ago, and I know one of the things that people do, I'm telling a secret, but if you ever, go out to a fair, people want you to handle things. There's something they want you to handle. It's laid in front of you. They want you to pick it up. You would think they didn't, because they want to, some things, because they don't want you to steal it. But once you hold something in your hand, particularly something like this, here's a nice piece of smoky quartz laying there, and if I pick that smoky quartz up and I hold it, all of a sudden that smoky quartz attaches to me, and I have to buy it. Okay, so people like you to handle things, and it's because that energy it attaches to you in a way. And I think the cards were maybe doing that in certain instances yesterday. So I wanted to ask you if any of you had that kind of experience, where if the cards keep repeating themselves. I was sitting down here before I went, and I was, because I was taking I took the Druidcraft Tarot, and I took the Lenormand, the mystical Lenormand deck with me, because I did some combo readings, 2 voice readings. And I was doing a little bit of playing with them before I went, a couple of days prior to the event, to see how the cards would work together. So I was just putting out 2 or 3 cards, and then trying to pair them up with some Lenormand to see if they play together, because that's going to be a whole other video I'm going to do about how checking to see if cards play well together, to combine voices, which is sort of a fun thing to do. But anyway, I started, after I did it for so long, I started pulling the same cards, and I had to tell you, I really shuffled the cards, and I'm still getting the same cards. So that's something that is a question. Anyway, some of the other things that happened, before I really get to the topic of the day, I do have a topic. It's not a big topic, so I can kind of chatter away a little bit first. Where I ran into, again, this happens to me every time I go out, people who want me to guess. That's all I can say. They want to see if I'm going to be right. So they don't want to tell me anything. They don't want to have a question. They don't want to tell me anything. They want to see if I'm able cold turkey to just come up with something from their reading. Even though I tell them very upfront that I am reading their cards. I'm not a mind reader. I'm a card reader. So, if you're trying to play a game with me, it's just not a game I play. I can tell you what the cards say. The cards say what the cards say. And so many people want me to know, they try to, yeah. I want to know. I thought maybe you wanted me to try to guess to see if you were right. No, I have no interest in, I didn't say this, but I want to say, no, I have no interest in your life. It's your life. I don't really have that interest in it. You want to know things so you can deal with them. I don't really have to deal with them. So I don't have any, there's nothing in it for me. Anyway, other than that, it was a lovely day. I don't want to say it was not a lovely day. There was a raffle. I was excited. I don't have it here with me. I wanted to share. But I won in the raffle. Fairies Oracle Tarot book set. It's the book and the cards. And I really like that a lot. I got that for raffle tickets. My husband put in some tickets for me, which was nice because I'm not buying any tarot decks this year. I have to have them gifted to me, or I guess I could win them in this raffle. So I'm going to be certainly doing a little work with those, and I will share those with you in a video coming up. But what my main subject for the day is, I want to get my cards out here of my book, and here's my cute little, I want to show you, my cute little bag, since I made for the, for my Druid Craft Tarot, see how cute that is, which I got a lot of attention because my bag is blue, and remember these cards have the blue edges. Because once I trimmed the cards, they didn't fit the box. The box was too big. But secondly, I don't take boxes with me. I take them in my box here, this box. The decks that I take, there's my Lenormand and all my stuff. I've already had a video on what I take with me for when I'm going out and doing tarot out side of the house, my traveling kit, so to speak. But anyway, I wanted a bag for my cards to be in here, and I thought, but didn't this come out really cute as anything? I'm really proud of it. So, I tied on the side. Open up, and there's my beautiful cards. See, they're blue. They go in the blue bag. Precious. It's really precious. So anyway, my subject for the day is, are there bad cards? Are there bad cards in the deck? I think we've talked a little bit about this before. I'm sure we have. But yesterday, I believe 2 times it happened. But one time particularly, one of the querents that I was reading for just laughed and said something like, I have never heard anybody make the, I'm not sure what it was, I believe it was something like the Ten of Swords. Or the Nine of Swords, one of those, into a good card. Into a good card. Certain cards that she reads tarot, apparently, and certain cards are bad cards. She's a black and white girl. There are good cards and there are bad cards. And I'm really interested to hear what you have to say about that, because to me, I don't have good cards and bad cards. Some cards are less desirable to show up than others. They're a little more troublesome, I have to admit. But here's the one that a lot of people think is a bad card. Here's the Eight of Swords. They think that's a really negative thing. I keep looking. I just realized the other day I have these learning charts up on my wall in here for teaching, and some of the meanings that I put on there when I don't know how many years those have been up there, I wasn't really happy with what I put. I've changed my mind about some of the cards. With your experiences, you kind of do. But anyway, that's really not so negative. I don't think that was one. But I think, let me see, what people thought was, that I thought, you know, I have to say, it depends, for me, it depends on where the card is. First of all, it depends on where the card is in the spread. If it's something in the past and was really negative, but it's in the past position, well, it was something bad that happened, but that's not a bad reading. That's not anything you should worry about, because if it's in the past, it means it's in the past. We don't need to worry about it. Oh, here's one that probably somebody said maybe something about. Maybe it was the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords. What did I see? Well, no, I don't even have anything that negative on here. This is a nightmare card. This is being stuck in a bad, you know, this thing is playing over and over in your head and you're stuck. But this is about, to me, this is about, you know, getting out and getting unstuck. Opening your eyes. Open your eyes and look at it. It's not so bad. It's a nightmare. It's going to go away, right? The Three of Swords. Oh, and I have showed you the Three of Swords. How many times have we looked at the Three of Swords? I talk about it all the time. I always thought the Three of Swords was kind of a really negative card, because nobody wants to have an argument, or nobody wants to have a, you know, a misunderstanding or a loss. Nobody wants to have a breakup of any kind. Until I saw the Wildwood Tarot, I did the video, you'll remember the video, where I said I loved the card. I got a whole new relationship with the card. In the Wildwood, I wish I could put it in front of me. Maybe I have it here. In the Wildwood Tarot, is this the Wildwood? Oh, it could be. Oh yes, this is my Wildwood. I haven't looked at these in a long time. In the Wildwood Tarot, instead of swords, we have arrows, right? Oh, I want this one for later. Instead of swords, we have arrows. And the cards are so thick, I can hardly hold them in my hand. It's so big. All of these cards. I got a lot of attention, by the way, yesterday, because I had a trimmed deck with me. And people are going, trim deck? You can trim a deck? They were just like me when I first time I saw Simon or whoever trim a deck. I went, you can trim a deck? Oh, I would never trim a deck. Well, once you trim a deck, and you feel the difference it makes in your hands, you get this giant deck. You're going to trim a deck. That's kind of what happened yesterday. These people were going, could you really trim a deck? That's an interesting idea. Because we all agreed what is going on with these authors of these new decks, that they are all making them bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is it's worth looking at, because this is a beautiful card. This is the Three of Arrows in the Wildwood Tarot. And it's a very sad card. It looks horrible, doesn't it? If you can see it. I hope you can. I don't have any natural light at all, so I hope this can be seen. It's a wooden heart on a tree on fire, and the arrows are plunged in, and there's blood dripping out of the holes. Okay, so that looks horrible. Oh my, that is horrible, right? I agree. But then, one second thought, the more you look at it, you realize the fire is not consuming it. It's not the end for that piece of wood. It's just burning. It's not consuming the wood. And the blood is dripping down onto the ground, into the roots of the tree, providing nourishment for the tree. So this is how we grow. We grow through these little disappointments and losses and heartaches. That's how we grow emotionally. It's how we develop our character, right? It's how we thrive. Through loss. It's through loss. Okay, so that was beautiful. So when I looked at this one, I'm telling people, look at the swords. They're on solid. So aching. They're on a solid foundation. They're on a rock. They're on a rock. There's nothing going to go away here. There's nothing going to crumble away. So that, when we think it's kind of bad, not so bad. It's not the end of the world. It's just a little bump in the road. Now, granted, there are some that I want to say really terrifically, you know, maybe they're negative. You know, I have a little list here of a couple. I took a little trip on YouTube today and looked to see if anybody had any information on any on negative cards, what they think were negative cards. What do people think about that? A lot of people think the Hermit is a negative card. I never thought of the Hermit as a negative card at all. What do I have up here? It could be a negative card if you look at it that way. If you look at it to being isolated or going away, but I don't think that's what it means. Maybe in the reversal it could be. But it's mostly just, you know, taking a period to reflect, self-reflection, how we grow through that. And we need to have a time to do that all the time. We need to step away. Sometimes we get so caught up in the middle of things, we can't see clearly, and it's time to step away and give it. And I think that's a really good thing. Now, I did see some negative. I had this a lot yesterday. This is what I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, because that's the next part of this video. Okay. I keep looking up here. Forgive me, because I want to see. No, some of them no. Let's see here. There's some that are really obvious. Here's one. Everybody, I think it was this one. People say, I never knew you could see anything positive in the Ten of Swords. Well, first of all, we all know the Ten of Swords. I'm saying we all know because I won't look at my teaching chart here. Well, there. It's just the end of something painful that's happened. If this is the future, it means the end of a painful situation. That's good news, right? It's the end of a painful situation. It's not a painful situation's come around the corner. It's the end of a painful situation. So really, no matter where it is on your spread, it's not going to be that bad. People cringe when they see it. And I keep showing them. I try to show them the sunrise in the background. It's hard to see on this card a little bit. It's just very faint. Most of them you can see pretty well. But obviously, this is so obvious. In the Wildwood Tarot, look what's in it. Big as life. A butterfly. Which means, right? What is the butterfly? Evolve. We're going to evolve into something new. That's my word for this year. The butterfly, because the death card is my card for this year. And I'm telling you, this is, right there we can see evolve. The end of something, the beginning of something new. That's exactly what a butterfly is, the beginning of something new. The old has to die. The old ways have to die before we can have the new. So, is that so bad? That doesn't sound so bad. So why are we thinking that is so bad? I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. What else did I have? Some people said... let's see. Well, this one's an obvious one. I'm going to put up the tarot. The tower. The tower. And I talked to you about the tower before. If not, I don't know if I put up the video or not. But the tower card to me in this video, in this deck, the first time I saw it, the first thing I saw in this card, I saw two things that really struck me. One was the ground, the solid ground underneath that tower. how nice and solid and strong it was. It's not, I remember being in Sunday school as a little girl, and we learned a song about the wise man built his house upon the bricks. Because I don't know who else, somebody who was not wise, built his house upon the sand, and it came crumbling down. But the wise man built his house upon the bricks, and it stood strong, because it had a strong foundation. I don't know. I think that was it. But anyway, it's easier to stand. When the lightning strikes it, yeah, we're going to have some damage, things are going to fall off. It's going to be big. There's nothing forgettable about when something's struck by lightning. When something is struck by lightning, it's a damage. We had our pole out here in the alley struck by lightning a couple of years ago. And, well, first of all, it was horrible because there was a crow sitting up on it at the time. And, of course, that thing died a million deaths, which was kind of sad. But it put our, oh my goodness, it knocked our power out. It was a big deal. It was a really big deal. It's no joke when something gets struck by lightning. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of damage. There's going to be a lot of destruction. But the first thing I saw when I looked at this card really was the light coming from the fire. And it's like that realization, I saw the light. I saw the light. A light going on. Something new coming in. And the tower talks about, in order for something new to come in, old things have to be removed. And, I have the need, I want to get some new chairs. I've been holding on to chairs forever. I've reupholstered them a couple times. They're so comfortable, and I cannot get chairs out in our room, out on the sun porch where we have our TV. They're so comfortable. My husband has one, I have one, these wing chairs. And I have recovered them so many times, reupholstered them. Every time I do it, I have to strip them down to the wood and start all over again, because I have trouble finding chairs that are nice quality, whatever. And I haven't done these. These have been needing done for a long, long time. And I haven't done them. And one of the reasons I haven't done them is I don't have time. I don't have time. And then I was looking the other day, when you're on Facebook, all these ads come up. All of a sudden, these chairs were coming up from places. And I'm thinking, boy, they're really cheap chairs. I don't think I want a cheap chair. But then I thought about it, and I thought I would spend that much money, maybe perhaps upholstering these chairs. Maybe it'd be more worth my while to buy some cheaper chairs, and when they wear out, get some more cheaper chairs. I don't know. I like the idea of having really nice chairs that are going to last, but I just don't want to spend the time. I don't want to take the time away from something else, which that's my problem. But in order for me to be able to get those chairs, I gotta make the cut. I gotta break up with my old chairs. I gotta get them out of the house. They gotta go. I can't get new chairs and hold on to the old ones. That's not gonna happen. We're downsizing. We're getting rid of clutter. You don't need it anymore. Get rid of it. And that's really hard for me because I've been attached to those chairs for a long time. So I'm in that process. But that tower, when that lightning is gonna hit, it's got to. It has to. I gotta knock them out of here in order to make room for the new chairs. It's gotta happen. No room for the new chairs until the old chairs are gone. No room for the new whatever till the old is gone. That's something we need to remember at the tower card. Anyway, what else did I see? Somebody else said, they were laughing at me. Oh, I think they were laughing. They were laughing with me. They were nice people. All of them were very nice. But it's cute when people... What I'm trying to do here, see if there's anything else that I really got some criticism for. The Devil card, of course. It did not come up yesterday, but the Devil card is one that, we see all the time. We know that's a negative card. It's a negative card. But in order for the Devil, it's more of a reminder to me than it is a negative card, because it is telling us that we've given power to something that doesn't deserve power. We have, we're tied to something. We're tied to addiction, perhaps. we're tied to some kind of negative, behavior. We're tied to maybe overeating, or we're tied to drinking too much, or, we have a lot of vices that we could be tied to. And we've given them the power. We've given them power. It doesn't deserve it. That doesn't deserve our power. I really don't see it. These cards are hiding from me today. But I want to tell you that a lot of these cards, it's not me reading something. I'm not being a Pollyanna. The cards, the author of this deck has really deliberately put some positive spins on some cards. And I'm grateful for it, because it is my opinion, I'm talking seriously now, it's my opinion that every card in the deck has just about, I'm sure every one does, but some of them I can't find it, has both negative and positive aspects to it. Because everything does. There's nothing that is all good or nothing that is all bad. There's just, anytime you win a game, somebody else loses. Right? So that's the way it is in life. That's the way things are. The Five of Cups in this deck, there's been a loss. There's been a loss in here. But he's looking in and seeing something new. He's looking down into the water. And that's the emphasis on this card. So if this is that much different from the Rider-Waite version or another version, this author really means you to look and see what is different. What is different? There has to be something new coming out of this. I gotta have hope. I'm looking down and I'm pulling down inside in my inner self and my emotions, or using my intuition or whatever, to find something positive that's gonna come out of this. Just in the same vein, some of the positive cards that are normally positive they have a negative aspect to them. And that's where I was kind of yesterday. I got this card, the Nine of Pentacles, so many times yesterday. The Nine of Pentacles, it's all about what you get out of working hard. You reap the benefits out of working hard, right? That's the harvest card. You've harvested. What do I have up here? But I want to tell you, this author, the illustrator here, Will Worthington, I don't see any richness in the card. I do see the pentacles on the wall carved behind her. I don't think you can see this too well, I'm sorry, because I don't have very good light. In here it's dark, it's nighttime. But, and the background is pale on the card, but she's standing there, again, in front of a wall, which has the pentacles carved behind her. And she's in a white dress and a sort of white background. But the thing that strikes me about this is her expression on her face, and the fact that she's behind, holding that branch in front of her. She's got her hand on the branch. She's got this thin branch going across her, and she's resting her hand on there. It is behind her and all of us, all the world. Between her and all of the world. And I was fixating on it yesterday. It kept showing up yesterday. For some reason, it was one of the cards that repeated throughout the day. And I was mesmerized by it, because I kept having these visions of things like, I was thinking of somebody who stands up and speaks and has to have a podium in front of them, even if they don't have notes. And, I'm a performer, so I have had this experience. Or people that want to have a book in front of them, you're singing, even if they have the song memorized. They want to be able to hold that book in between them and the audience. Or a guitarist, I think of Glenn Campbell, who was always holding his guitar on stage, even if he wasn't playing it. That it's a protection, something that's coming between you and them. That's her posture in this card. Whether it was intentional or not, it's something that strikes me. And I want to say, it makes a little bit of negativity to me. It speaks of the little negativity in what is usually a very positive card. Reaping the benefits of hard work. She's standing there perching with that little bird behind that branch, and it's like, I've done the work, but I can't. She just doesn't want to come out and show it. She doesn't want to come out and face it. It reminded me of another card. One more card, what I saw so negatively yesterday. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just my day. But I'd be curious if you ever see anything negative in it. Here we go. The Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, you know, it's a positive card. Usually it's a nice positive card. You know, nothing wrong with that. I see her holding this drum in a position that I've seen. This reminds me of somebody who I see these people all the time. They say they're drummers. They say they can drum, and they play a bodhrán like this. I play a bodhrán, so I know what they're talking. I know what I'm talking about. And we'll maybe have a jam or whatever. We have a lot of people playing, and they don't want to play their drum. They don't play. It's like they're afraid, or they play so quiet they're hardly even touching the drum. It's like they're afraid people will hear them play the drum. If you got a drum, you gotta play it. You gotta hit the drum. Don't be afraid to hit it. Don't be afraid to hit it. Own the drum, hit the drum. You know, your Queen, the Pentacles, you have reached a position in your life where you should be able to do that. You should be able to be confident in that. You've reached a level of mastery, right? In your drumming, supposedly. Which you should be able to just own it and hit it. But she seems, the expression on her face, I don't know, I'm a little scared to hit the drum. And it reminds me, this kind of vibe was coming to me yesterday for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just curious. But anyway, my message is just all about the tarot. Yeah, there are bad cards in the tarot, but if we're just going to read every bad card as a bad card, every time we see well, actually that was the Four of Arrows. I picked up the wrong card. I'm sorry, I picked up the wrong card. But it's the same thing. If we are going to read every card with negativity, it's not the same thing. I know it's not the same thing, but now I have to look. If we're going to read every bad card with just a negativity, we're going to be really disappointed because we're not going to get the depth of the reading that we need to get. You know, we have to go beyond the surface. We have to dig under the surface, and we have to see the whole of the answer, not just part of the answer. We have to see the whole of the answer. And especially when we do cards, when we're doing a re-spread, isn't it true that we have, you're not going to read with one card. If we were reading with one card, it'd be different. But this is why we use combinations of cards. They play off of each other. They're in different positions. We can see, what is coming in the future. We can see what has been in the past that is troubling us. We can see what kind of things are influencing people around us or decisions that are being made. We need to be able to look at both sides, and that's not just a one-sided argument. It's like looking at an argument only listening to one person. You got to hear what both people are saying. I'm telling you, I'm going crazy that I cannot find that. Why can I not find the card I'm looking for? Isn't that crazy? Kind of crazy. So we're going to look at both the positive and negative. They're not going to cancel it out. It's not about canceling it out, because if they canceled each other out and the positive and negative were equal, it's just a neutral card and it wouldn't matter. There'd be no reading. There'd be nothing to follow or nothing to consider, because it would just be, it's going to be another day like any old day, which is not true. But you do have to look on the, what it comes after. What comes after? If there's a loss, what comes after the loss? If there is a gain, oh, this looks pretty good. What is the caution? But be caution, be careful. Be careful. Don't be so complacent that you think nothing's going to come of it. I swear to you, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I cannot find the card. I guess I can't talk and search at the same time. Absolutely not here. And I know it's here. I just can't find it. I should, I'm going to cut here because I'm going to find this card. I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. I'm just taking a little drink here. I need it. The reason I had so much trouble, I forgot. The Ten of Arrows in the Wildwood Tarot does not have anything like that at all. The imagery is not at all like the Ten of Swords. Not at all. And that's why I didn't see it, because I'm looking at the pictures. This is the Ten of Arrows in the Wildwood Tarot. I hope you can see that. I know I've showed it to you before, a long time ago. But it is called Instruction, and it shows an old man like a grandfather, teaching a young boy, probably his grandson, how to shoot the bow and arrow. What in the world does that have to do with anything? This is about something ending. The man, his time is ending. He's a grandfather, right? He's getting older. His time is ending where his skills are not going to be the top. Before he loses his skill, he's passing on what he knows to the young boy. That position, that part in the world, passing on what we know to the next person. This is really, it really goes in line with the Wheel of the Year. That whole idea of when something dies, something is born. Again, this is the bright message. This is the alternative to the Ten of Swords. Now am I going to look into this deck? I don't want to waste time doing this, but this is a really good point when we get into reading cards. We just I'm going to do a video on, does the deck matter? Does the cards matter? Really matter in a spread? Because I really want to show you that, there's such a difference sometimes in what the what the twist of what the author's intent is about the cards. You really have to pay attention to it. But in this one, it's so obvious. When I said there's there's negative in positive cards and there's positive and negative cards, you have to believe me now when I show you these two cards. There we are. The Ten of Swords. This is the Ten of Swords in the Druidcraft. And this is an image that we see pretty close to what's in the Rider-Waite. And here's the Ten of Swords in the Wildwood Tarot, which most of the other images are pretty true in line with what we see in the Rider-Waite, with a few exceptions. But this is a big exception. This is a big exception. Because yes, this looks at first glance very negative. It is about the end, but positive. There's the sun coming up. This is positive, like a grandfather and his grandson teaching the skills, but the negative is the part that's not said, is that yes, but he's old, he's at the end, his time is limited, and the boy is just beginning. Okay? They kind of mean the same thing, but with a different balance. Now, we're going to get into this kind of thing a little later when we talk about putting cards in, reading cards in position. But remember I said, the card that most people are so scared of are forgetting that this is about the end. The end. What was the word I said? Of a painful situation. The end of a painful situation. So in the future, as far out as we can go, if this comes there, it's the end of it. It's coming. It's the end of it. This one almost reads like Well, the situation's going to be a little painful coming up. It's not really, but you see that it's almost opposite. Not really opposite, but you know, it's a little twist. So anyway, I just want to say that I saw yesterday, I was teased a little bit because I saw some good in the bad cards. I do always see some good in bad cards. I don't like to give people just bad cards. That's, what do you want to hear that? Because there has to be hope. Nothing stays the same forever. So if it's bad, it's going to get better. But the same way, we have to give a caution about the good cards too. We have to give a little bit of a caution. There has to be some kind of caution or some kind of a message or some kind of advice in positive cards as well. I think that's our job as tarot readers. Not just to, you know, repetitiously repeat facts at people. I don't think that's what we do. Okay, that's enough. I've talked too much. Thank you so much for watching. Like always, I'm Rebecca, the Good Wife, and I wish you blessings. Cheers.